So this is my latest music laser show invention. The first one was much simpler than this. It was simply a couple contacts in water, electrolyze the water with the contacts, read that with a laser, and magnify it out. This one sends a laser beam up, bounces it off the surface of the water, and then back down onto this mirror, and then up onto the roof over there. So we get a nice little show up on the roof. Now, the unit on top here is a simple toothpick attached to a DC motor, and then it is placed just so that it sits right on the surface tension of the water there, catching it, enough to pass its vibrations into the surface of the water. And then, of course, the DC power source is not going to spin it. It's going to vibrate. I mean, the AC audio signal is not going to spin a DC motor. It's just going to vibrate it. You can actually hear the music out of the motor. It's quite neat. So, and then I just send my audio signal down to some PC speakers, and then also an amp, and I send the amp signal back to the laser. So let's give her a shot here. Let's turn off the lights. You can actually see some vibrations from my stepping. I've got the signal amped up quite a bit. It gets too noisy if it vibrates too fast. If we had a bigger screen, that noise would become more resolution, basically. But for now, my laser can't magnify it much more than this. So this is the best we're going to be able to see for now. What I can do is turn down the signal. If I turn off the signal, this is what we get. And then as I turn up the signal slowly, more and more, we start to get more reaction to the music. Now, bass obviously affects it a little more than other stuff. And then all the way up to the max, we get this kind of noisy. Now, that's not a bad effect. But I wanted to try to do something a little more fun, too. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip on the lights for a sec. And I'm going to pour a little bit of oil into it. Maybe a little bit more. Just a few drops to create enough droplets on this surface. And then I like to blow it a couple times just to get it in there. And then you will get a much different effect out of it. Now, I think I might have misplaced the laser if it's creating such a thin beam. Maybe the toothpick is blocking it. Yeah, the toothpick is blocking the laser beam there. And the oil droplet, I don't know if you can see, is quite large. Sorry about that, I had to do a take two. So what I had to do was I had to take a little bit of oil out of it, and then this really crappy audio connector I'm using on my laptop to split the signals just sucks. I had to keep fidgeting with it. So here we got it with oil. And as you can see, the oil creates all these beautiful, they seem like cycles, but what they are is as the different bubbles are passing and it's getting hit at different, or it's hitting the sides of the bubbles and being diffracted, it's creating all these beautiful extra detail to it. Looks like northern lights almost. Now the audio signal's pretty loud here, so it's a little noisy. Let's turn it down. This is at a much lower intensity. As you can see, there's actually a lot of detail in it. Now there you can see some of the glass detail. The glass is actually undesired detail. Those little dots are from the imperfections in the glass. Some of that detail is from the glass of the container, and some of it is water related. But water tends to create smoother stuff. So the detail at the resting stage is largely the glass and the different reflection angles and potentially even the mirror. But there's also a lot in here that's oil. So if I go and I just blow on it quickly, we'll see what is oil and what is water. Or what is oil and what is glass. Even if I just stomp my foot you can see it move. It's quite sensitive.